to the Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Try F Podcast, where we try not to F the podcast up. And today we are talking about The Last of Us Season 2, but we're also going to discuss a little bit about Season 1.
I thought it was a video game.
It is a video game, but HBO turned it into a show. I'm surprised you didn't know about The Last of Us. Like, you're the video game connoisseur.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's for PlayStation. I don't have a PlayStation.
I have no clue. See, I just reviewed the show, and I knew about the game from other reviewers who had played it, like Nerdrotic and The Critical Drinker and those guys. So,
PewDiePie?
No, not PewDiePie. We did watch his reaction to, spoiler, Joel's death. But, because somebody thought it was funny. I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was depressing. Honestly, so we didn't show it.
Okay.
But yeah, so The Last of Us, it's a video game, and the premise of it, I guess, we'll just start with talking about the premise of it. The premise of it's pretty straightforward. It's a fungus turns people into zombies. It's your typical zombie outbreak thing. We've seen it a million times, but this time the shrooms did it, so it's different. So,
shroom zombies?
Yeah, they're shroom zombies. And so the shroom zombies take over the world, but there's a remnant who survive. And
a what?
A remnant group of people, humans. Some humans live.
Oh, remnant.
And the story is really kind of about humanity surviving after the outbreak has already occurred. It's basically Resident Evil, but again, shroom zombies. I mean, we just... I don't know why this game was as big as it was, because we have seen this premise like a million times, yet for some... I shouldn't say that. I do know why. I just am still baffled by it because I don't think I think the reason is overhyped. Let me put it that way. So the reason this show is big is because of the ending, right? So the ending of the first game...
What happens at the ending?
Well, the ending of the first game is the girl who's tagging along with Joel, who's the main character. She's immune. And he takes her to this militia group, and this militia group is somehow supposed to synthesize a vaccine from her. In the end, they decide that they're going to kill her. And so Joel kills all the Firefly people, the doctors and such, and tells Ellie that they failed and they couldn't get a vaccine. And so the end of the game is Ellie kind of suspecting that more went on than what Joel said, but Joel didn't tell her the truth about what happened. And the moral conundrum, which is not a moral conundrum. There's like 3 archetypes that tell you Joel was absolutely right. It's not a moral conundrum. But because, again, commies, they decided to sell it like it was some morally ambiguous thing. So, anyway, the idea is like, well, should Joel have let Ellie die to save all of humanity? No. We have had so many classic stories that say that's the bad thing to do. Chief among them, the goose that laid the golden egg. So think about this, Trevor. So I want you to sit here and dwell on the stupid here. For just this is the first game. And this is my great gripe before we even get into Bella Ramsey and what she said today. So the idea is that Ellie, she's immune. And they think that if they basically kill her and take out her brain, they'll be able to like create a vaccine. Now, I don't know why they think this. And so the question is, well, apparently through contrived storytelling, contrived convenience, they say, oh, we have to. It's a forced dichotomy. That's the idea.
Wouldn't it make more sense to keep them alive so they can keep making the blood?
Exactly. You would want to keep her alive and try to buy for time. I mean, you've already had an outbreak going on for years. Yeah, you would want to keep her alive. And not only that, for all you know, her kids are going to be immune. Yeah. So it makes no sense, absolutely no sense, for them to kill her in the hopes of making a vaccine. Even if they could, it wouldn't make any sense. Because, hey, the vaccine's going to be temporary, but if the girl can make kids that are immune and you've got a race of humans that are immune, then in time you're not going to have any more zombies. So
trust the science.
Yeah, but trust the science. So there's this old fairy tale. You might have heard it. It's called The Goose That Laid the Golden Egg. You remember this story, Trevor?
I like that story.
Yeah, the goose that lays the golden egg, and then the farmer gets greedy, kills the goose, and then,
Willy
there's no
Wonka.
more golden eggs because, there was the goose that didn't have the golden eggs inside of it, and so the goose just died, and the farmer was now poor. So it's that kind of thing. The girl has the ability to start humanity all over again. She's an archetypal Eve, And so she's basically a new type of human that could save the world, even if they didn't get a vaccine. So the idea of, killing her to save humanity as it is idiotic. It's like sacrificing the virgin to the volcano to maintain the current order, instead of letting the youngins carry on with the future. See, there's 3 archetypes that tell you it's idiocy to act like Joel's conundrum was actually all that complicated. But these people are communists, and so they have the moral compasses of mongooses. So that's a stupid analogy. Ignore that analogy. The point is, these people were... It's overhyped. The moral conundrum is overhyped. It's stupid to think that it was like a hard choice. And anyway...
It shouldn't be that hard.
No, it's not hard at all. And plus, she's a kid. You don't kill kids, and most humans have enough sense to know that.
She's a kid, and they wanted to kill her?
Yeah, she's like, I don't know, 12 or something. Maybe 14.
Wow.
Yeah, she's a kid. And so they're like...
And they're not even thinking twice about it. They just want to get rid of
Well,
it.
yeah, the doctors are like... Well, I'm sure in the game... Again, I haven't played it. I don't play games. But I'm sure in the game, the doctors are like, oh, here's contrived reason number 73 why cutting out her brain is the only way to save the world. They've got some sort of pseudoscience to contrive and, build the dichotomy. But
It's called Bush.
But the idea of potentially a new race of human beings immune to the zombies could get started through this girl, that conversation is never going to get had because it's contrived. It's a fake. It's like that stupid... Oh, these smart aleck freshman philosophers, they always do this stupid analogy where it's like, and I'm going to butcher it because I never cared enough to listen to the analogy very closely, but it's a false dichotomy. It's this idea of you've got a train and you've got the choice of either derailing the train and killing the conductor and maybe some people in the back, or you kill the people that are stuck, tied to the train or whatever. And so it's like, is the right call to kill the conductor by stopping the train? Or is the right call to kill the person on the track by running over them and not risking the conductor? What do you do as the observer? It's like that kind of forced dichotomy. You know what I mean? And the reality is, you're not a prophet. You don't know that the conductor is going to die, and there's no way to set up a scenario where it's guaranteed that these people are going to die, and you know exactly what's going to happen. So you should try to create a situation where nobody dies. You do the best you can, and you hope it works out. But they try to make it like it's, empirically, so you have to make the call. And it's like, no, you don't. You don't know empirically. You don't have to make any such call. You're forcing a conundrum, trying to act, because the idea of it is basically to prove that morality doesn't exist at all. That's what they're trying to do. They think that if they can highlight these weird, obscure, and kind of absurd exceptions, if they can just hone in on these absurd exceptions, then they can prove that morality and totality doesn't exist. That's kind of the way that they use that tactic. And so it's that kind of forced moral conundrum that made that game famous. And it's stupid because it's not a conundrum at all, but they contrived it so that it would look like a conundrum. That's my layman's outtake on it anyway. So there's that, and then Season 2 kicks up, and not to be outdone by the commies in Season 1, the commies in Season 2, because, I don't know, everybody's a bad guy's a commie to me, I guess, at least tonight. I'm tired, leave me alone. So...
We're all commies in Gary's eyes.
Yeah, we're all commies in my eyes. It's like the CIA. We're all working for the CIA, and we're all communists. But anyway. No, so in Season 2, they decide to take a moral stance instead of leaving the ambiguity. Because people...
Oh, wow. I just thought of this.
That?
The CIA stands for Communist in America.
It's all coming together.
Sorry. Continue.
That's good, though. So in Season 2, they decide to take a moral stance. And would you like to take a guess as to what the moral stance was?
We don't care.
No, in the first episode, they were like, oh, what was the right thing to do? We don't know. You'll have to decide for yourself as the viewer. And, that was kind of their approach in the first game. In the second game, they go, no, Joel was wrong. They should have killed the child. And the way that they do this is through this character, Abby. And she's like, I don't know. She's like this Hulk creature that they put in the second game. And she basically had a dad who died when Joel went on his killing spree to save Ellie, right? And so Abby kills Joel in retaliation for her dad dying, ignoring the fact that the dad was going to kill Ellie. That doesn't matter, though, because morality doesn't actually exist in these people's minds, just tribalism. The only truth is tribalism in these people's worldview.
What is tribalism?
Basically, my tribe. Like, it's not wrong to kill objectively, but if you kill my dad, I'm going to kill you because he's my dad. Like, that is that kind of like, eye for an eye, appealing to just like, your tribe, like the people you know, and
revenge is my forte, and I don't care who gets in my way.
There's no morality. There's just emotion. That's the only thing that's real. Like it's that kind of thinking. It's very nihilistic, and so they decide to say that Joel is in the wrong, and they kill Joel. They have Abby kill Joel, and then just to rub salt in the player's wounds, they make you play Abby for like 10 hours. So you have to play the woman who killed your favorite character to beat the game.
So you're playing as the bad guy?
That's the point. In their goofy worldview, she's not a bad guy. Everybody just has their point of view, Trevor. It's all just a matter of your point of view. Never mind the fact that her dad was going to kill a child. No. See, that was her dad. So she has a point of view. That means she's just as right as Joel was. Communists.
That's scary.
Yeah, well, that's Hollywood. That's the way these people think. But they were so set on like making you agree with them that they forced you to play as the character that you despise, for like 10 hours.
Now I don't want to play.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Anyway, so needless to say, this game flops because it was a bait and switch. Because to make matters worse, if memory serves me correct, of course, I did all my research on this back when the first season of the HBO series came out, so my memory might be betraying me. But if memory serves me correct, the creator of the game said you would get to play as Joel because people, again, remember at the time, you got to remember that Rian Johnson's, subvert your expectations thing was all the rage. So when the video game comes out, everybody's scared to death that they're going to kill Joel and that they're going to pull this subverting expectations crap. Like everybody already saw it coming. And so the creator of the game, and I think there might have been some leaks on top of that, if I remember correctly as well. There might have been some actual leaks of the game.
That always happens.
Yeah, and so the creator gets up there and goes, no, you get to play as Joel, we swear. Well, he was lying through his crooked teeth. And, they killed Joel just like everybody was scared they would. And, of course, the game flopped because, they killed the character from the first game.
You can't kill off the main character and just expect people to love it still.
Yeah, and then they were on. I don't know if they were just being spiteful or if they were honestly stupid enough to go, if they can just play from Abby's point of view for 10 hours, then they'll see the light. It's like if we force you to play from her point of view, you'll see, oh, I get it now. The daughter of the homicidal maniac that was going to kill the kid was just as her position was just as valid as Joel's. I see the light. There is no morality, and that light is a train. So
it's kind of like Darth Vader. It may paint him out to be the good guy.
Yeah, it's just moral relativism, and that's all it is. And so, needless to say, people were mad. They didn't like it. And so the game flopped, and they couldn't figure out why the game flopped.
Do you at least get to kill zombies?
Yes, you get to kill zombies. You get to kill lots of zombies. And to their credit, they have a lot of very inventive zombies. They have bloaters, they have like these clickers, I think are what they're called. They have some cool monsters in the game. So from that standpoint, it's good. from what I understand.
Oh.
But again, I don't play video games. So,
Well, we're gonna have to change that.
yeah. If I'm going to keep delving into this fiction stuff, I'm going to have to get into gaming again.
Maybe play some Halo.
You killed me so many times. I'm getting PTSD.
That was Smash Brothers.
No, we were fairly even on Smash Brothers.
Oh,
You were
Sorry.
better than me, but only by a little bit. I could keep up with
Only
you.
by a little
In
bit.
Halo, you destroyed me though. It was a bloodbath. Like I could never figure out Halo, ever.
Well, maybe we'll get you into it.
Yeah, I sucked at it. But anyway, we're getting off topic. The point is, Last of Us sucks, and it was a big deal whenever it happened during the video game. So when HBO comes around and makes the series, the season 1, because the moral ambiguity thing really works with people, season 1 was a big hit, and it did well. I tried to warn people in my reviews. I don't know how that got received, but I said my piece on season 1 when it came out and said I wasn't reviewing season 2, and I didn't. So I kind of put it to the side, and apparently season 2, basically I put it to the side knowing that they were going to kill Joel in season 2, so nothing that happened in season 1 even mattered. So I just kind of, walked away from it. And sure enough, they killed Joel in season 2. And people got mad, just like they did in the game, because the people who were watching the show, the people who were watching the show, they hadn't played the game. It's a completely different group, and they were just as mad as the gamers were. So, surprise, surprise, they got an identical reaction, which everybody in the dog told them was going to happen. I was sitting there warning them in my reviews. I'm like, it's a bait and switch. It's a bait and switch. Don't get invested in this show. Don't do it. But I mean, because of the games, yeah. So, and they did it, and of course, people got mad. I mean, it just played out like you knew it was going to play out, and you would think they would have done something different to try to mitigate it, but they didn't. They just rode right into that landmine because there is no morality. Dang it! So, anyway, and then I guess Bella Ramsey said this, which I kind of understand this. I don't know why people get so mad at her for saying this, but anyway, she said. This was the only thing I could really find. I don't remember the direct quote, but I think it came from a video. But basically, the headline is, Bella Ramsey tells The Last of Us Season 2 haters they don't have to watch Season 3. If you hate it that much, the game exists. Which I agree with. I'm like, challenge accepted. I ain't going to watch it. But people got mad about it. I'm like...
Blew up?
Yeah, people got mad at her for saying it. And I'm just like, well... That's why I didn't watch it. I mean, what do you want me to say? And then she could be like, I don't have any money now. I mean,
I wonder why.
It's the circle of capitalism. What do you want?
If you tell the fans not to watch it, they're going to.
Yeah, they're going to do exactly what you say. And that's her position. I mean, it's not an invalid position. I don't think. I think people get mad because it's said with like this snarky tone generally, but the statement is true. Like, that's the only way to tell these people. It's like, go bankrupt then. Like, you have to tell all your friends. Like, that, I guess maybe that's the caveat you could add to the statement. It's like, look, if you don't like it, don't watch it, and tell all your friends not to watch it. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. And it's not like...
You could say there's a little bit of morality in that.
Well, yeah. I mean, and look, as much as I hate the games. I don't hate the show for following the games. Like, from my perspective, the reason I find Star Wars so egregious, like what they did with the sequel trilogy, like, I get angry at that because it's sci-fi fantasy. It's supposed to have the happy ending. There are expectations with the fantasy genre. Luke is supposed to be the good guy. You're supposed to have classic white hats and black hats. Star Wars is understood to be a certain genre of media, whereas Star Trek is where you get all the moral ambiguity and the cultural questions and all the rest of it. That's what Star Trek is. That's sci-fi, and that's why people always considered Star Wars sci-fantasy, because it's more reminiscent of the old serials and that classic melodrama archetype. That's why you watch Star Wars instead of Star Trek. And so when they go in there and they introduce that moral ambiguity into Star Wars, it's a bait and switch, because you go in there with one set of expectations, Luke to win the day and get the girl and everybody to be happily ever after, that kind of thing. You go in there with one set of expectations, and you come out with more of this pretentious crap. And it's like, if I wanted pretension, I would watch Star Trek. I'm not in the mood for pretension today. I wanted a happy fantasy. I wanted escapism today, and you pulled a bait and switch on me. You put sawdust in my car, you jerk.
So they Disney'd up Star Wars.
But The Last of Us 2, for as irritating as it is, it said exactly what it... About knocked my headphones off. I'm an idiot.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it said exactly what it was from the beginning. I mean, it set up the stupid moral conundrum crap. That's how it marketed itself. It didn't set itself up as some kind of happy-go-lucky show. It didn't set itself up to have the classic archetypes. It did the moral ambiguity thing, and then it doubled down on it in the sequel. Like, you know what it is. And to my mind, the show kind of has an obligation, at least to me, to follow what the writers did and what the writers' intentions were, because it's not their work. I don't like people taking IPs that aren't theirs and betraying the fundamental nature of those IPs and basically pulling a bait and switch on the audience. If something is written by Stephen King, I expect it to have Stephen King's tropes. Do not give me, Misery, only make it a romantic comedy between, whoever plays James Caan and Kate, what is her name? Dadgummit, I'm blanking. That's...
Kate Beckinsale?
Not Kate Beckinsale. What is it? Oh, I'm so stupid. Maybe it is Kate Beckinsale.
You're not stupid.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, if you have Nurse Annie and Paul Sheldon in a romantic comedy in a movie called Misery, that's going to annoy people.
Yeah.
That's called a bait and switch. And so you want people to, know what they're getting, so that, they know how to invest their time. And so I'm not upset with her saying that. And I mean, I'm not upset that HBO stuck with what the game did. I think the idea is complete crap. I think it's nihilistic garbage. And I think I think Naughty Dog is going to go bankrupt for putting out, nihilistic garbage, and they should. And the more these video game companies do that, they're going to go bankrupt, because people don't like that messaging, and they should go bankrupt. So when Bella Ramsey goes, "Don't watch it," people should be like, "Challenge accepted."
Okay.
I won't watch it, and I'll tell my friends not to watch it. Like, it's not a completely illogical thing to do. It's just, like, I understand it with, like, pretty much everything else, because what these people have been doing is they've been taking IPs like Marvel, like Star Wars, that have this kind of good guy, bad guy dynamic, that have escapism as their main drive, and they're turning it into this nihilistic, bullcrap, where people believe in nothing, and there is no morality, there is no white hat, black hat, because good and evil don't exist. There's only your tribe. Or if you're a believer in H.G. Wells' crap, it's just you have to associate yourself with the species. You have to give up all forms of identity and only identify as a human. That kind of garbage.
Identify as me.
Yeah. You can't identify as you. That's selfish. You're not acknowledging the importance of the collective when you do that. Yeah, why would you be, you selfish bourgeoisie piece of... Anyway.
Thank you.
Sorry, I've got bourgeoisie, proletariat, just like, it's just in my head right now. I'm reading Michael Malice's White Pill at the moment, and I'm studying this H.G. Wells stuff, and I'm reading this bio, and it's like my brain is just filled with commie garbage. So you'll have to bear with me a little bit.
It's a commie kind of
night. It's a night. It's the night of the commies, and my background is red. Hint, hint, hint. Anyway, so. All right, that's my rant. I'm not mad at Bella Ramsey, but The Last of Us sucks as a whole, and people should just not watch it. So that's my review in short.
Go watch Star Wars instead.
Yeah, the old Star Wars, the original trilogy. And don't, for the love of all things good and mighty, show your kids that sequel trilogy. Keep them in love
Why
with
not?
Luke. Let them love their heroes. And let Disney go bankrupt. Let that freaking mouse go bankrupt. All right. Well, I think that covers everything for the night. I'm not sure. What do you think, Trevor? You think we've beat this dead horse sufficiently?
Well, I mean, we could keep going if you want. I have some more reaction videos we could watch.
We need to stay on topic. Do you have any final
I'm
thoughts on The Last of Us? You being a gamer, whereas I am a lowly nerd, what is your take?
As a gamer, I sorry, I would if I had a PlayStation, I would still play it, just because I like shooting zombies.
There you go.
But after listening to your review, I personally don't like it when they kill off the main character, especially the hero
Yeah.
archetype. Yeah, that just hacks me off.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why do you hate it when they kill the main character?
Because that's the story that you're following, and then they just take them out. It's kind of like watching Game of Thrones. You know, you'd pick a character that you liked, and they would die. And so it was really hard to keep watching it.
Yeah. Do you feel like
But-
you've wasted your time?
This evening?
No. Like when a main character dies in a video game or
Oh.
in Game of Thrones or whatever, you
Yeah.
feel like you've wasted your time.
You've lost it. Just like
Yeah.
when they killed Glenn on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that was such a good show, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, in their defense, the actor was done with it. So
Glenn dies in the comics too, doesn't he? I think he does die in the
I
comics.
believe
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, but yeah, if I had a PlayStation, I'd still play it just because I would like to see where it goes with it.
Uh-huh.
But it would still hack me off with the main character.
So it's enough to
Got
make you
killed.
mad, but it's not enough to prompt you to be like, I'm done! Boycott!
Yeah. Yeah, no, the games that make me quit or give up are the ones where they make enemies just so overpowered that you can't beat them unless you do it this specific way.
Mhm.
And
Why did you like
Giving-
Zelda so much then?
well, Zelda, you could actually defeat the.
Well, maybe I'm
Bosses
just
and enemies.
incompetent then.
Oh, you're not incompetent.
Well, I couldn't beat those freaking Zelda games. So, anyway, I suck though. Like I'm so
You would
terrible.
hate-
I'm so terrible.
You would hate Elden Ring then.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Elden Ring is nothing but bosses,
Really.
pretty much.
What is that? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Like I don't have the patience for it. Like I just don't have the patience for it. It's like
Yeah.
I could be learning Chinese right now. What am I doing here? Oh, that's okay though. Yeah, I mean, I hate the nihilistic crap. I feel like these people are trying to like destroy culture and society by telling people there's nothing to believe in. And I
No.
think they do it through these video games and they do it through media. And I think that you have to not watch that stuff if you want them to quit because you're going to have to starve them out, essentially. That DEI money isn't going to last for forever. So, you know, and hey, we found the USAID money, so that'll knock out some of this crap, you know. But they, you know, the politicians and the communists and the political people are the ones pushing this narrative. It's not organic storytelling. Is part of the issue. And so it is a game of like, yeah, making sure these people suffer enough financially that they quit, which is, it's a challenge though, because again, they are getting government money, whether that's official or not, as it was demonstrated again by USAID and by the DEI programs. Which is why that Cracker Barrel thing happened, you know,
Oh,
that
yeah.
corporate
That
swill.
was ridiculous.
But you know, the thing is when you study H.G. Wells and you study those Fabian socialists from the early 1900s, you understand exactly why they're doing that stuff. Like, it all makes
Well,
perfect sense. It's about the loss of identity. You can't have a culture. You can't have the old man on the barrel carving the knife because that's the type of identity. And you can't have a global government if you have a regional identity. That's why they got rid of Aunt Jemima. That's why they got rid of the Land O'Lakes Native American. That's why they tried to get rid of the Cracker Barrel guy. It's all the same crap.
Yeah, I believe the Cracker Barrel guy, they changed their
Yeah,
mind.
they did back off. They did back off.
Yeah.
And that's why you should boycott, because those stores were empty. And it
Yeah.
scared the crap out of them because they thought they were going to be the
Oh.
next Budweiser.
Yeah, they lost a lot of people.
Yeah, boycotts work. And so I'm all for what Bella Ramsey said. So I'm
Heck
like,
yeah.
go for it. Boycott the crap out of them. So, and maybe we can dry them up even with Uncle Sam's funds. So, but I'm a conspiracy theorist, and that's just
I
conjecture.
don't like that word.
I don't have proof that they're using
There is no
NGOs
conspiracy.
and think tanks and government agencies to fund these people to write crap plots. I'm just a conspiracy theorist. I don't know that. I know nothing. I know nothing.
They don't write crap plots. They copy and paste and change a few things.
I don't think they copy and pasted that. I think that came straight out of some commie handbook. This nihilistic forced moral conundrum
Exactly.
thing.
Copy and paste and change a few things.
Okay, so they're basically following some commie playbook, but they're putting a narrative around it. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, but just think about that. I mean, Joel's death aside, they try to get you to think, to entertain the idea that it would be okay to kill a child if the circumstances were extreme enough. That's really what they were doing. They're trying to get you to justify horrible behavior in your own head by making you play as the bad guy. It's very devious in that respect. And it reminds me a little bit of the Orville season 3, I think.
Popcorn?
Huh?
The popcorn?
No, The Spaceship by Seth MacFarlane. There's a scene in there where a guy has to go back into the future or whatever. It's some stupid time travel plot. It's very contrived. And again, it's a fake moral conundrum thing. But the end result is if he goes back into the future or whatever, he's going to kill his family that he's built. And he knows he's going to kill his family. And so the way that they affirm that he should kill his family, and this is the framing that the show itself set up. This isn't my characterization. This is how they framed it. They basically made some stupid bullcrap contrived way that he had to be the one to travel forward into time himself because he was the pilot of the ship and he had to do some complicated maneuvering to get back to the future. And so, in effect, it wasn't that his crew took him to the future by force, and so they killed the family. No, he had to fly himself into the future and kill the family himself. He had to be the one to put the bullet in his head, put the bullet in his own children's head, so to speak. And so it was like, it was like there was this ritualistic element to the show where he had to be the one to murder the family in the favor of the collective. It's an insanely communist show. But again, if you don't study the Fabian socialists and they're like you have to abandon your identity. Like they literally want you to like abandon your identity as a father. So it's like you can't even look at yourself as a father to your children because that's a competing loyalty with the state. That's how these people thought. It's insane. And so that's what these guys in Hollywood are affirming through these stupid movies and everything else. And so they try to find these convoluted, backhanded, allegory-like ways to get you to, justify child murder. Like, they're psychopaths. Wow. They're freaking psychopaths. But again, you don't catch it unless you know the history of the ideas. You know?
See, I probably wouldn't even catch that. It's just nonchalantly kill the zombies. Like, I don't care.
Thankfully, most people just kill the zombies. And most people don't give a crap about all that stuff. But, but the theory is it plants a seed. Yeah. And those seeds manifest when they put out more direct propaganda later on.
As millennials, we're taught from day one, if we plant a seed in your brain, by the time you're an adult, you'll act a certain way.
Yep. There. But then again, Trevor, you know, I mean, you're right that we were taught as we millennials just had it rough. Like we got the height of the Department of Education's propaganda. Like our poor generation, we don't know which way's up. But anyway.
But we didn't have to walk uphill both ways in the snow.
No, we just had to carry 80-pound backpacks that gave us scoliosis. Yeah, I got scoliosis from my freaking backpack. Thanks, school. Way to help a brother out. Anyway.
And if you didn't carry all your books, you were sprinting down the hallway trying to get to your locker in time.
Yep, it was either carry your books or sprint down the hallway. We were at the height of the Department of Education's propaganda. We were at the height of the textbooks, printing out everything and making you buy everything. Like,
oh yeah,
it sucked. Like I had so many backpacks that the bottom fell out of them because they were too heavy. Like they would just rip. They would just rip in the middle of school because I had like 80 pounds of crap in there. I had so many backpacks do that. It's crazy.
Yep. I did too, as well.
It's just freaking people, man. Anyway, we're getting off track. We're, you know, back when I was a kid, you know.
ADHD.
But anyway, it you know, if you don't believe me, I'm just a stupid conspiracy theorist. What do I know?
I believe you.
Thank you. Somebody does.
But I'm also a conspiracy theorist.
I appreciate it. You know who doesn't believe us? The Tataria people. So, not that I'm bitter. Anyway. No, it's okay. I think we're done for the night, man.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, guys,
Thank
we're
you for
finishing
watching.
this live stream. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.